In today's video, we are going to be installing a new clutch in this 1978 BMW 320i. I picked this car up a couple of weeks ago. It just needs a bit of TLC. Kind of dropped the ball on the prep for this video as I already removed the transmission and the whole exhaust. You can see here the back of the engine needs a rear main seal, definitely a pilot bearing. This thing is completely rusted solid. We're gonna get ready on some of this prep. Now let's go take a look at the new parts we have. The nice thing about working on these little BMWs is that the parts are very inexpensive. I got this brand new Sachs clutch kit along with a pilot bearing and rear main seal for like less than $200, I think it was $225 with tax and shipping from Parts Geek. Then I did take this original flywheel over to the machine shop and had that resurfaced. Looks like a really nice finish on there. And now we'll go ahead and get started on some transmission work. First thing I want to do is take this transmission outside, degrease it and pressure wash it just because it's a little greasy looking. One other awesome thing about working on these little BMWs, the transmission is basically the weight of a dumbbell. It's just a one-handed ordeal to get it outside, which is really nice compared to working on truck transmissions, stuff like that. I'll just attack this thing with some purple power, let it soak, and pressure wash it. Hopefully this is a nice little transformation here on this gearbox unit.
I failed to mention on camera that I also cleaned this transmission case with a steel brush just to knock some of the bigger debris off.
Here's the finished product. Looks pretty good. It's not totally perfect, but at least it's sanitary now. It looks pretty nice. Just feels good to clean something up like that and kind of beautify the underneath of this car a little bit. This really is a pretty nice little car. Now we got to pull this rear main seal and that pilot bearing. I'm going to hit this with some brake clean first just to kind of clean that area up. Got the slide hammer attachment in this. Let's see if we can get this bearing out. Shoot. I think it just blew all the needle bearings out of there. Let's see if this slightly bigger attachment fits. Basically just have to get this outer collar now. Fingers crossed. Here goes nothing. Oh, I see it coming out of there. Oh, smashed my hand, that was nice. Lost the light. Victorious. There it is. Never fails, blowing your hand apart working on cars. Now we can get at this rear main seal. There we go. Nice. I have the rear main set in there. Got to be mindful to keep that inner seal surface outside of that end of the crankshaft there. Simply just tapping it with this very light hammer. Okay, the new rear main seal is seated. I actually used the front side of the old rear main seal, put it against here and just tapped it home the rest of the way because it does recess into here just a little bit. Now we'll grab that pilot bearing and throw that in. I threw a very light film of grease around the outer surface and now I'm just going to tap it home gently. There it is. Looks like it is nice and flush, ready for the flywheel. One thing that I think is kind of neat that I'll point out about this particular engine is that it is not timed by a marking on the harmonic balancer, but rather on this flywheel. As you can see here, there's this little ball or bump there, and then there's a little top dead center mark. And basically this engine takes 25 degrees of spark advance at 2200 RPM. When you have your timing light on, you can actually see this bump through this little inspection hole here, and that is how you know your engine is in time. And since this engine is timed with the flywheel, obviously it can't go on in just any location. So you see there's that dowel there on the back of the crankshaft, and that goes into this slightly larger hole than all of the rest of the bolt holes, which keeps the engine in time. Cleaned up all of the flywheel bolts here. I've got some blue Loctite that I will pour on the threads. So we're just gonna go through and start fastening those one by one, and then I think I'll torque this all to 75 foot-pounds. Now that that's done, we'll prep this flywheel surface for the new clutch. Some brake clean. The inside of the bell housing is prepped. I went ahead and cleaned both sides of the clutch fork, and we have a new release bearing or throwout bearing to put on there. Input shaft is clean, and then this is the area where that throwout bearing rides. We're gonna go ahead and get all of this lubricated and then get ready to throw that clutch on. Of course, this clutch kit did not come with its own centering tool like most clutch kits come with. So what I've come up with here is a little backyard centering tool. This is a 7mm, which fits right into the pilot bearing. This 16mm, the outer diameter of it, will fit right into the clutch discs, and with any luck, we will get this thing to clunk into place. Just like this is what I had in mind. Moment of truth. Oh, yeah, that slides in and out like butter. So I think we had some good luck with that. I bet this trans slides right in. Ready to go back in with the transmission. One connection that I do have to make is for the, I believe this is the top gear switch or final gear switch, which makes its connection way up here. And then I believe this is reverse light switch. And then this is the loom that goes up the tunnel into the car. Transmission is back in. I've got all the bottom bolts and as many of the top bolts on the bell housing as I can reach installed. I just have to lower the car down to fasten the last two up top, but that went pretty smoothly. All right, install complete. Got the drive shaft in, cross member, really nice looking transmission in here now. There's that slave cylinder hooked up. All of the bell housing bolts are tight. All of the wire connections are made. It's got to go up and plug in the reverse lights up at the shifter in the car. Before I go ahead and reinstall this exhaust hanger here and the rest of the exhaust, I want to do a test fire and verify that the clutch is operational. This really is a sweet little car. This is an original Arizona car, 100% rust-free. Pretty nice engine bay, all factory decals in place. Let's hook this battery up so we can do a test fire. Really sweet car. It came with a set of Mall BBS wheels. These are actually a pretty big deal in the German world. Some authentic wheels and a really nice interior. Again, all factory decals, reupholstered seats. Oh, sounds brutal with that exhaust off of there. Oh, it's terrible. All right, we've got some first gear action. Reverse. This is that wire for the reverse lights that I pointed out earlier under the car that just kind of wraps around and tucks under the console. Then you throw your boot on. This snaps into this little collar. Might need two hands for this, but you get the idea. And then your knob, I think, just threads right down onto here, like so. And now we're finished off in the interior. I grabbed some new hardware for the exhaust and also some new rubber hangers for the muffler, so I'm gonna get that cleaned up and reinstalled, and then we'll go test drive this thing. Well, just like that, this little 320i project is wrapped up. You can see our shiny clean transmission. There's that exhaust mount. Going back, you can see new hardware at this flange, and then this flange right here. While I'm doing all of this work, I decided I would change the transmission fluid as well. There's one drain right here, and this is the fill. And I've got some Redline MTL. This is a 75/80 rating. This is what most of the guys in the BMW forum recommend for this Getrag transmission. We'll go ahead and get this drained now. I am going to have to MacGyver some tools here, just like I did earlier in the video. I don't have the proper size Allen head socket for this. I think that's a 17mm, but I have this nut that fits right in there. So I'm going to put about half of it in and then take a wrench on the other half and hopefully break that free, as well as the fill plug. I'm gonna loosen the fill plug first to be safe. Place our little nut in there. There goes nothing. Oh, fortunately, it wasn't too tight. That actually worked pretty nicely. Doesn't look too bad, but doesn't hurt to change it either. Ooh, starting to splash out of there. I did notice a little dampness around this reverse switch here. Oh yeah, I'll put some Teflon tape on this. Hopefully that takes care of the dampness that I saw from there. This should do the trick right here. That switch is back in. Now we'll go ahead and fill through the side here. Just have this basic little fluid pump here inside of the bottle of MTL. I'll start pumping it into the transmission. I had to cut the top of this off because my pump didn't capture all the way to the bottom, but you can see now we're full. It's just drizzling the excess out of the fill plug. I'll let this run for a second and cap it off. Well, first impressions, I can tell that things have quieted down a lot gearbox wise. If I push this clutch pedal in, you do hear it silence a little bit. Hopefully you can hear that in the video, but I was, obviously I didn't show what this car was like before I did the clutch install, but there was substantial noise from the bell housing area, and the new clutch, throwout bearing, and pilot bushing have certainly taken care of that. But let's go ahead and drive this thing. Now I'd like to note this car does have 193,742 miles, so the gearbox is obviously not new anymore. It does shift nicely though. Synchros and whatnot seem to be in good operable condition. Everything seems to quiet down a lot getting into fourth gear, but clutch engagement is right on par with where it should be, and this little car cruises nicely. So I'd say for what this thing is, with nearly 200,000 miles, this is about as good as it gets. This really is a fun little car to drive. It's just like a go-kart, very nimble and light. You can see why the BMW enthusiasts love this early 3 Series. Downshifts are nice in this too. Oh, it stays flat around the corners too. What a neat little car. I think this E21 looks awesome on those little 13-inch Mall BBS wheels. Really straight body, nice paint, zero rust, and now a new clutch and a few other items you saw in this video. Let me know what you think of this car down in the comments. I think it's pretty neat. Such a nice car. I feel like most of these are just so used up over time. Well, that is going to conclude today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you've made it this far, I really appreciate you spending your time here on the channel. It's nice to take an old car and make it even just a little bit better than it was, and I think that's what we accomplished here today with that clutch. With 193,000 miles on the odometer, obviously this isn't a perfect example of an E21 3 Series. However, the Survivor cars are the fun ones because you can go and drive them and enjoy them and really experience the car. When things are too nice, they're hard to enjoy, you don't want to drive them, you don't want to put miles on them, so this is really the perfect candidate for a driver. This can serve somebody for years to come, and mechanically it's pretty well sorted now with that new clutch. We did some other upgrades as you saw, but let me know what you think down in the comments. I look forward to seeing you guys next time.